Starting off pretty simple, this was an old charge sound for one of Chain's first ever special abilities in survival. It was loud and heavy so it could startle the player. Spree's remade the sound. It is not as loud as before, and you can't hear the slash at the end anymore. VFX on the ground, chainsaw, and slash was an idea to use as an indicator for his attack. It was removed for the game because Urixa thought it wouldn't fit. For the next Survival Cut content, we will be talking about the hunger system. This was more of an idea since it never made it to the game. According to Earthy, if you stayed in an area for too long, you get hunted down. So that's two benefactors to encouraging exploration. Chain will eventually track you down if you're staying in a place for too long due to the hunger. Hunger isn't really a system the player should worry about if they're moving around the map. The hunger affected your stamina and how much damage that you take. You could easily find food around the map, warehouse being the main source of that. Hunger system was made for immersive gameplay since it basically affected everything that you did in the game if you didn't eat. Anxiety was another feature that was dropped for survival. Here's the older model of the psychological monster that was going to be used in survival but transferred to be in chapter 2. Keep in mind that this model is untextured. The figure is black with a white face. Stare was a sanity entity that would stalk the player or approach the player in an aggressive manner until the player died or the sanity was replenished. Chain's second ability after his charge was going to be a chainsaw throw attack that happened when the player was far enough from Chain. Chain had two features with this ability. He could either bring the chainsaw back to himself, a chance to hit the player if they're in the pathway, or he could lead the chainsaw wherever it is and then use his fist against the player. If Chain was to leave his chainsaw, he would use his fist, which is a blunt damage. His fist damage still packed a punch since he still had brute strength on his side. If Chain managed to get the players, he would initiate his finisher. Unfortunately, the chainsaw throw ability along with fists was scrapped because how complicated it may be to develop. Can't confirm or deny of its return. The next ability I'll be talking about is the Haymaker. This ability was sent to boosters, but it was soon forgotten. Even myself, I forgot about its existence. Chain's ability consisted of winding up his attack, then lunging at the player to punch them down. This ability was meant to knock out the player cold. If he hit you with it, he will instantly down execution you. This attack was dangerous, but it was scrapped and replaced with the choke ability that we have today. Around the time when the final update was in development, it was planned that when Chain died, you would hear his final words. I managed to dig deep enough to find in my files. Here's the first one.
This is not over.
This is just foreshadow that no matter what, Chain will always come back, possibly even stronger. The voices were revamped multiple times before Urixa and Spree realized that it wouldn't work in Chain. I can't confirm nor deny the chance of Chain's voice to be heard in the future, possibly different than this one. For the next one, we'll be talking about the radio tower, since many questions were circulated on why it wasn't climbable on the final update release. One sneak peek that gave it off that it was going to be climbable is the one animation that showed Chain having the ability to run up the radio tower to ambush the player. Another addition to it is the fact that Spree mentioned that Chain was going to be able to slide down to kick you off the ladder if you try escaping that way. This wasn't animated yet, it was just an idea. The entire thing was scrapped because it served no purpose to the player, and it was to avoid a cluster of bugs coming along the way. Next cut content is the prison. After the player killed Chain and went to the front gate to get apprehended and knocked out by Monolith, instead of the mode ending, the player would wake up in a maximum security prison. So the players wake up inside of these before they're instructed to leave. They are in a line. Right here was just showing off the map, and it was going to be a special interaction here where you could see two prisoners fighting, and then later on during the fight, a soldier will come break it up. Here's the MP3 of the player waking up in the prison. After the player is instructed to get out the cell, the player is put in a room. They are put in that room so that memories could be wiped completely. This correlates to why the Monolith says this before knocking you out.
On your knees! Sit! Come in action. Primary is down.
Will forget about all of this.
Despite the player's efforts, the player still has the bad ending. After their memories are wiped, they become a soldier for suppression. Roblox took down the prison due to, quotedly, inappropriate content being inside of it. When Erix and Spree tried resolving the issue, Roblox was still taking it down, so they scrapped their prison entirely so they wouldn't be banned. There was an old video before the final update that left many people confused on what it fully was. This video was an old ending survival after you killed Chain. The soldiers would come down to extract the mask since it didn't explode in its ending. After the soldiers grabbed the mask and get back on a helicopter, survival would end right there. Of course, it was scrapped, and then it was replaced with the ending that we have today. Oh, look what I found when I was editing the video. I found the voice lines for the artifact guy.
If you're gonna do the job, I need you to grab a few artifacts that are left around the area. They look like book pieces that have been torn apart. When the pieces are brought together, it sustains sacred power upon usage. To look for these, they emit strange sounds and a small glowing light, and I'll need those artifacts to craft this sacred book. Are you up for it?